World, kitchen, world. Okay, you're introduced. But this is gonna be a haircut rant because socially awkward people should not ever get their haircut, I decide, in public. Period. Or if they do, they should go to a special place called Haircuts for Socially Awkward People, because I think that would help a lot of people out, and this helps my light contrast, so I just might leave my hands up here the entire time, or something. What? How do I... One, I go in, get my hair cut, cool. I walk in, obviously when I'm a guy, you already should have a pretty good idea that I don't know what I'm doing. Really only in there for one reason only. I'm here because it's Thursday, and it says $5 haircut, and I'm a guy, and that's all I really care about, is that I get my haircut for as cheap as possible. It's already pretty cheap, like $10, maybe $15 at the most. And it's on sale, so that's why I'm here today. So if you have any other questions, probably don't ask them. Unless you're like debit or credit, then that's fine. Maybe that should be something they ask you when you walk in. What do you want today? Do you want a haircut? Do you want product? Do you want someone who doesn't talk? Do you want to ask you questions? And do you want a simple haircut? I think those should be your three options. And I don't understand this. Okay, so I get in the chair, and they're like, what do you want? And for some reason, every time they ask, I want to say, I want a normal guy haircut. Because when I go in and I'm like, I want it cut this up here and go over it in the back, and don't mess with these, and don't shave me, and other things, and layers, and spiky things. I don't know what I'm talking about, because I didn't go to hair school. I'm an architecture student. I could tell you to truncate the building ceiling, or that your stuff's to code, and how is that supported, and why this chair spins, and things like that. I can't tell you how I want my hair cut. I'm sorry. Once I finally get out of my mouth, this is how I want my hair cut, please cut it, I don't want to talk anymore. I'm not going to make a comment on anything except for maybe the music choice in the background, which is probably AT Top 40, because for some reason that's all you listen to, or a really crappy version of Pandora, because I can tell it's Pandora, because they always have the Noodles & Company commercial that tells me to talk, even though we all know that you can't. Okay, so I'm in the chair. We already have established that I am not a good speaker by the point that I'm in the chair, and the thing is around my neck, which kind of feels like I might suffocate. Who really knows? I kind of look like a priest if you go to certain ones. Like, it's got the white collar and the black, the drapey thing. So I don't even know what it's called. I think it has a name. I think it's called a cape, maybe, but it doesn't go on the back. So is it a cape if it's on the front still? I don't know. It's a hair catcher for all the hair, so it doesn't get on my clothes, even though it still does, because the wrappy thing that you put around my neck, the collar, it still gets in there, and it doesn't really work. But I'm in the chair swiveling around, and I just want to get this point out, that I'm in the chair, and I don't want to talk about anything. I mean, the first question that usually is asked is, oh, hey, what are you doing? You know, did you have a good weekend? Did you watch that game that you probably didn't because you're socially awkward and clearly aren't very into sports at all? Good guess. But you still talk to me about it anyway, because maybe I am. I don't know. Also, don't really want to talk about anything. I'm here to get my hair cut. I'm not here to make friends or to talk about something stupid, because I don't really care. You're cutting my hair, and that's already awkward enough for me that I'm a grown man, and for some reason I can't cut my own hair. Because, you know, there's nothing worse than sitting there, you open your mouth, and you make a noise that you really hope is cognitive English, and you're like, eh? And they're like, excuse me? And you're like, yes, please do that. And so you act like an idiot or like you're Frankenstein. So when they say, would you like your haircut? You're like, yes, can do that. Because if you disagree, then you have to tell them what you want instead, which is almost worse than getting what you don't want, because then it's just awkward. The small talk about the weather and stuff keeps going on, and they're asking you questions and talking to you, and you have to speak in cognitive English. And that is difficult if you do not know this person, and you do not understand their sense of humor. So you're afraid to make jokes, or be funny, or have a sense of humor, or speak, because if you talk and you make a joke, maybe it's really offensive to them. Be like, oh yeah, you know, I mean, I did lying, catch that game last night. I can't believe that team won. You know, how stupid was that? And they're like, actually, that's my favorite team. My entire family went there. I'm a proud patron. Then you get into sports conversations, and that's just a horrible place for me to be because I don't belong there. It's horrible because you're going to say something offensive. If you try to make a joke, you know it's going to happen. It's just, it has to. Or you say something and they just don't laugh, or they're like, yeah. And you're like, and I think the worst part of the entire experience is the fact that once you're done, you know, and you're sitting in the chair and they hand you the mirror and they swivel you around and you look at it and you're like, okay, this is pretty good. I actually like this. I can't believe that this actually worked and I actually spoke English to a person and had them do what I told them to. Oh my god, that was painful. Let's never do that again. And a month later you do it. Or in my case, I wait like 2 months because I just hate it. I put off getting a haircut the entire spring break because I didn't want to go in and make small talk with people. How sickening is that? That is a thing that's frightening to me that I just cannot bear doing. Small talk in any other circumstance is fine. If it's like an elevator, that's still pretty weird, but if it's small talk when someone's doing something for you, like cutting your hair, it is for some reason so much weirder because you have that deafening fear that what happens if I say something and they really hate me, so they decide to chop off my ear like Picasso. But I'm not artsy enough for it to be okay, so I'm just half deaf for the rest of my life. And people are like, what happened? Oh my god, he must have gone to a hair place and pissed off one of the beauticians. Oh my god. That's kind of what my fear is. Other part of it is humor and interaction in general when it comes to public things, telling people what to do, because I'm such a passive person most of the time. I'm kind of like, whatever you want to do, and you can't really do that. It's kind of like when you go to order food, you know, and you're there, and it's like, what do you want? And I'm like, I don't know, what's the easiest thing for you to make that tastes good? What's the easiest haircut for you to give that doesn't make me look like an idiot? Give me that one. But I can't. Then as I'm leaving, I have this horrible feeling that when I close the door and get into my car, it's going to be, oh my god, that was the weirdest guy ever. Did you see him? He didn't even know what he wanted to get his hair cut like. He's such an idiot and socially awkward. Let's hope that we never get one of those again. Guys are so stupid. And it's not like all beauticians are girls. I don't mean to sound that way. It's just I have horrible luck with the girls that I get because for some reason I get awkward around him, and I've had guys and it's almost just as bad, but every time I get a guy I'm afraid of him because he looks like an Italian gangster with his hair slicked back and his shirt halfway open, and I'm afraid that he might have a Beretta under my chair waiting to shoot me if I don't give him, I don't know, it's frightening experience. For some odd reason I'm super paranoid to do this. Post in the comments if you have an idea for another rant video I should do. I was on my mind and I had dated out and there it was, YouTube. Have a great life. Subscribe and do some stuff with the internet that is cool and other things. I love your faces. Goodbye.